From KUNC and the NPR network, this is In The NoCo. I'm Erin O'Toole. When someone decides they need help for drug or alcohol addiction or to leave an unsafe living situation, one obstacle they often face is this: while I'm getting help, who will take care of my pets? For many people, the bond with a dog or cat is a lifeline. But most inpatient treatment programs or domestic violence shelters can't allow animals, which can force people to have to choose between recovery or their furry family members. This didn't sit well with a former veterinary technician named Serena Saunders. In 2021, she started an unusual nonprofit from her home in Denver called PAWsitive Recovery. That's PAWsitive, spelled with a P-A-W. She offered care for a few pets of people recovering from mental health issues, addiction, or abuse. The program has become so popular and the need is so great that the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals International is working to expand it across the U.S. Serena joined me earlier this year to talk about what pushed her to create the program and what it's like to help people working to get their lives back. We're listening back to that conversation today. Serena, you have worked in veterinary clinics, and you are also in recovery yourself. How did those experiences lead you toward creating this program?
Well, I have a lifetime of absolutely loving animals and dogs. And so I knew in my own journey how important my dog was in my active addiction and my love for animals. My dog Oscar was there for me through thick and thin, all through the hardships of my adult life. And so I think that those two things just go hand in hand when we're trying to better our lives. And we need our animal companions by our side when we're trying to get better.
And you started PAWsitive Recovery from your home in Denver in 2021. What was it like in that first year, and how many clients did you have?
Gosh, I don't remember how many clients we had, but I didn't know if the program was going to work when I first started it. And I quickly found out that it was, and there was a huge need for it. And I didn't have a whole lot of places to put animals at that time. We were still building our foster network and getting partners. And so a lot of those animals came to my house. And my daughter, who was at the time, 12 or 13, helped me clean our cat room and take care of multiple animals during the inception of the program. So
Love it.
now, 5 years later, the program has grown and helped so many people. And so we're just so grateful.
Do you remember a moment early on when you felt like you might have created something unique and valuable?
I felt that from the very, very first week that I started it, because I started doing a lot of outreach with the local recovery community and some of the treatment centers in the area. And I was their favorite person that week. It is such a hugely needed service and such a barrier for people trying to get into treatment. And the people working in that space really knew how needed it was. And there just were no resources or programs that were tackling this problem. So I have made a lot of friends since starting this program because it is so needed.
Sounds like people got it right away.
Right away.
So what kind of difficulties or conditions are your clients dealing with?
I mean, you name it, and they are going through it, from domestic violence to years and years of substance abuse disorder. They oftentimes are struggling with mental health or being unhoused, lack of resources, or a combination of all of those. And so our clients have lost a lot of the support that they have from family, from friends through their active addiction. And oftentimes their animal companions are the last ones who have given them unconditional love and support through the hardest times of their life. And they've gone through so much trauma that giving up an animal to a shelter while they want to make a change in their life is just an absolute, trauma added on top of all of it. And so our goal is to keep the human and animal bond intact so that they have something to come out and look forward to. And we see oftentimes that if we can keep that bond intact while people are getting better, that oftentimes people's relationships with their kids and their family start to, fall into place after that.
Could you share a story of how the experience has helped someone with their recovery?
Well, we have many stories. One of our recent stories that comes to mind is a client of ours who is in long-term recovery, and she's in a very long program because she was, in a methamphetamine addiction with some pretty bad people for most of her life. And
Mm.
she has two boxers that unfortunately she had to leave behind with an ex of hers, and she had to run for her life, and she had to get out of that situation, and
Oh, wow.
she had to get sober and rebuild and do a lot of work before she could even think about getting her animals back. And when she contacted us, we stepped in and we were able to go and retrieve the dogs.
Oh, wow.
They were chained up outside on a really, you know, tight leash and in some pretty deplorable conditions, and their health was not good. But she cared so much about these animals that she had left them and was determined to get them back and got them into our program. We got them
Mm.
healthy and all of that. And so for her, at the end of this long, long journey of just absolute obstacle after obstacles for this woman, we're able to get her back with her dogs at the end of it.
You partnered with SPCA International to expand positive recovery nationally. You started with New York and Portland. It sounds like this has been quite a journey for you, from creating positive recovery in your living room to now managing it for an international organization. How do you think the program has changed your life?
Well, it gives me purpose, and I'm just so grateful that I can combine the two things that I love the most, dogs and recovery. And I get to see these stories of hope and resilience unfold in my life every single day. And I absolutely love my job, and I don't think that a
Mm.
whole lot of people get the pleasure of saying that.
Yeah.
I know that in my work, I can help save not only one life, but two lives at one time, and that to me is absolutely amazing. And
Mm.
I'm very proud and just happy that we get to change and transform lives.
Before we go, I have to ask, I imagine the program works mainly with dogs and cats. What other kinds of pets have you been asked to foster in this journey?
Well, we've had a couple of interesting ones for sure. I did have 10 tarantulas in my office at one time. We've had a few guinea pigs come into the program, two specifically that were not reunited with their owner and became my daughter's guinea pigs. And we've had an application for a pig, but the pig
Oh,
never came in. But yes,
okay.
we typically focus on dogs and cats. But hey, we're open to all of it. So, bring us what you got.
Bring it on. Serena Saunders is the founder and program manager of Positive Recovery. She spoke with me earlier this year about the program, which finds foster care for people's pets as they recover from addiction, abuse, or mental health issues. We'll have links for you to learn more about positive recovery in our show notes and at KUNC.org. That's it today for In The NoCo. I'm Erin O'Toole. Thanks so much for listening.